Welcome, Sana.
Hi.
What brings you in today?
Well, I am, having been to the Summer Institute now and still being part of here, I'm just thinking about when I go back to, when this is all finished, and when I go back to work, what that's going to be like.
Okay.
Prior to this, I already kind of felt that I'd outgrown my job. And now, practicing these skills and learning more, I feel even so much, like I feel like I've outgrown it so much more.
Yeah, that feeling stronger than it was before.
Yeah, and feeling stronger about like, what am I going back to?
Okay, and in what ways have you outgrown your job?
Well, I'm really good at building relationships with people. So I work with a Canadian Mental Health Association with adults with serious mental illness. And so I'm really good at connecting with people and building relationships with people. And it's really important for me to build meaningful relationships with them.
Yeah, that's something that you value.
Yeah, exactly. And in ways I've outgrown it is that staff and my supervisor, they're always, you can't counsel, you're not a counselor, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, I know I'm not a counselor, but we are here to provide emotional support. And so I feel like I'm not allowed to do what I'm good at.
Right.
And that's disappointing.
Yeah, almost like you've gotten these brand new skills you really want to use, and you don't feel like you can use them in your job.
Yeah, and then I'm afraid that, am I going to lose all that learning?
Right. So what I also hear in all of this is a little bit of fear. Does that seem to fit?
Yeah, a little bit, I guess.
Or is it more something else?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's fear, actually. I'm not sure if that fits. I guess fear of losing the skills that I'm learning here.
Yeah.
But a little bit, not much.
Okay.
More that I have these skills and I can't use them.
Okay.
And so I'd like to be somewhere where I can use them, but
So when you think about the ideal environment where you could use these skills, what does that look like?
Well, ideally, if I could use these skills at the job that I still have.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, ideally.
I know that's
not reality. But that would be great because then I don't have to, apply for a new job and learn the clients there and feel pressure of proving myself to the organization that the new organization I'd be working for. I already know what the expectations are here.
Right.
And so if I can just do what I do, like just let me do what I do, then we can be good,
Yeah. And one of the things that stood out to me in what you just said was, I don't want to say fear, but this apprehension of having to put yourself out there again in a new job.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. But only because I'm also doing this master's program.
Right.
And so I have to kind of balance where I put my energy.
Yeah.
So if I have a new job, so much of my energy goes to learning that new job and, learning that new job. And then I feel like taking that energy away from my master's program. Whereas now, this job, I know exactly what my job is, and I can just go there at the end of the day. I can leave work at work and go, okay.
It's familiar?
It's familiar, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's limited opportunities in Samaram.
Okay.
Right, so it's hard to find a full-time job. So the fact that I have a full-time job, working with people, that's a big plus.
Okay. So there are a lot of things about your job that you like.
Yeah. If I
There's some hesitancy there. Let's go back to that.
Yeah, there is hesitancy because I feel like I can't be me at my job.
Tell me more about that.
Because I value meaningful relationships and building those meaningful relationships with clients, and when I do that, I feel as if I'm being judged by my staff and my coworkers and my supervisor because they say, oh no, you can't counsel. well, we're not counseling. Like, counseling looks so much different. And because they know I am doing my master's in counseling, it's like they have this preconceived notion that's, oh, she thinks she's going to be a counselor now. Where that's not it at all, but it's kind of the feeling I get. And it's also a really unprofessional environment that I work in.
Okay, tell me a bit more about that.
Well, the staff there, they're older. They would be 50 to 60s on average.
Okay.
So they're, looking to retire in the next couple of years. And I am the youngest person there. And so the youngest person with the most education.
Okay.
Well, one of the most education. There's another staff there who's a few years older. But anyway, and the staff, they talk a lot about themselves. So instead of being there for the clients, they bring their problems to work and to the clients.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I go, no, this is so unprofessional. Like, why are you bringing this here? And so then they lose focus on the clients, and then the clients becomes they invite the clients into their personal space, and so it's very confusing for the clients.
Right. And so there's this value conflict happening for you about, can I continue to work in this type of environment, not only from a values place, but also knowing that I have these skills that I want to use where this may not be welcomed in the workplace.
And then because it's not welcomed, I feel a disconnect from myself.
Oh.
Right. So, but that's exactly it.
Yeah. And going back to the age piece as well, you mentioned that you're the youngest in this agency, and many of your other coworkers are much older than you. I'm curious what kind of sociocultural dynamic comes up in your workplace.
Yeah.
There's some humor there too.
Yeah, that's a good
So
question.
I can tell there's some stories there.
Yeah. Well, one of the things is when I did my undergrad, I was very conscientious of gaining experience working with people because undergrad in psychology, there's not a lot of opportunity there.
Right.
And so I actually was a summer student here for 2 years, in 2008 and 2009. And then in 2013, I got this job.
Okay.
And so I feel like they think I'm young and full of life and full of you're so playful, and so if you're so playful, you need to connect with the young people, and we have a 60s plus group, so the 60 person is going to interact with them, and it's very because you're young, you do this, but it's because I'm young, not because of my skills or because of who I am.
Yeah.
And so it's okay. And I have strong leadership skills at my job. But it's not...
They can't see that because of your age?
I don't want to say they can't see it, they don't like to see it. Because, sometimes I feel like... I hate even saying this, but I'll say it. Sometimes I feel like I'm a threat to them. Or I make them feel incompetent, maybe. I don't know how I make them feel, I can't go there. But the way they react to me is I'm just a young person, and what do you know?
Okay. That's a tough environment to be in.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so some of the themes that I kind of hear coming up, and how I've kind of visualized this is you walk into a staff meeting, and you have this big sign on your head that says, I'm this age.
Yeah.
And you may have some really great points to say, but all people notice is this flashing sign above your head.
Yes, in some ways. I mean, in other ways, I'm also, when you say staff meeting, when I walk in there, yes. When I walk into the building and in the work environment, yes, there's this sign on my head. When I'm in a staff meeting, no, because I do speak up and I have an opinion, and they it either resonates with them or it doesn't, and it is respectful. So I do feel like they listen to what I have to say. And they value my opinion, but that's all. It doesn't then go, oh, well, Sana has some really good thoughts, let's maybe try those ideas. It goes, well, Sana's young, so she needs to hang out with the young people, and she needs to do all the fun activities.
Right. And you're craving a different type of experience at your work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. I've actually created indirectly my own job now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing a ton of amazing strengths here. Like you mentioned earlier, your ability to form relationships with people, and that's even obvious in our interactions right now. Your ability to not only form relationships, but read these social dynamics that are happening at work and create your job in such a way that it fulfills your needs. Right? So there's a ton of strength in all of this.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Right? So how do we take these strengths and apply them to the problem that you're facing right now?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and keep, like I'm very vocal about my needs at work. I don't think they want to see me go.
Right.
And I have built some good relationships with other staff that I don't necessarily work with every day.
Right.
That I can go, hey, how's it going? Like, this is my day. How's your day? Hey, if you're doing any presentations, let me know. I'm there.
Yeah.
You know? So we have a really good relationship, and she's really excited. Hey, whatever you're learning at the master's program, let me know. Like, share your learning. And I'm like, yeah, will do. So that's very enthusiastic and spontaneous, and not threatening, right? Whereas the other, oh, that's what you're doing. So I think I just have to continue to carve out those opportunities and just let the other staff who are close to retirement just have their thing.
So letting some of those
I think
reactions
I just have
go.
to accept it.
Yeah.
Maybe if I decide to stay.
If you decide to stay, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, what I'm also hearing in all of this too is that you still have a choice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. About whether or not you want to stay or whether you want to look at doing something else. Yeah. So we've talked about a lot of different things today. I'm curious, what stands out to you?
Well, the strengths that I have and the strengths that I do have made me make the choices I do make. So what I mean is, like, I know how to make it work for myself.
Right.
And I can't change the work environment. I can be a part of the work environment, but I can't change how other people choose to be in that work environment. So just knowing that and just being careful not to lose sight of who I am, because when they try to pull me in that direction.
Yeah, and recognizing you have a lot of power in this situation too.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Maybe we'll end there today.
Yeah, that's great.
That's good.
Thanks.